Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Brother Anderson, and looking forward to an exciting week 10. There's some really good stuff that we're doing here. It's going to be one of the your biggest sales presentation that you've had yet, and incorporating everything that we've learned, bringing it all together into this sales presentation. Um, and just to talk about some of the stuff that you're going to be doing this week. So first, there's a quiz. So do your study just like you've done every week. A little quiz to kick things off. The second is it's going to be kind of a fun discussion. There's a few videos for you to watch. I think they're some pretty compelling videos, and to have some fun conversations around those and what makes a good presentation. And then you're going to in the sales presentation. So this is uh, the big assignment for this week is your sales presentation. And so everything that you've been working on through this course and also through this week is going to lead up to this presentation. Okay, so but it's going to be fun. So make sure that when you're doing your study that you're paying attention to um, a lot of the stuff that you're gonna read. In particular, there's an 18-minute TED Talk video where she gives elements of using stories to give presentations and drive impact, um, as well as some of the visuals that are in your assignments as well, that give a lot of information on doing an effective sales presentation. Um, and just to recap some stuff that you see in the assignment, um, there's sorry, just one second, my notes here I was going to pull up. So there's a few things in the assignment that it talks about that I wanted to bring to your attention, specific in the sales presentation. And what I'm going to do as well at the end here is I'm just going to give you an example, like I've done many times in the past, of a presentation. So when you look at the notes and the instructions of the sales presentation, 5 to 8 minutes is what we're looking for here. And you need to, going back to what we've done the last couple weeks, first in your presentation talk about repeating back the customer need. Assume that you've already uncovered those needs, and like we practiced this last week, um, start your presentation with as if you're talking to the customer, recapping and understanding of what their needs are. Then it would be, if you, to really do it effectively, it'll be good to weave in a story or something that relates to the customer, and you know you're going to learn about this week, but weave in a story that shows that you relate to the customer or illustrates something that drives home impact to what their need is. And then when it talks about a unit of conviction, what that means is you just uh, share conviction of your product specific to the benefit that it's going to be to that customer. And then at the end, it'd be good to, you can conclude with a story that's kind of taking them home and sharing a vision of them, of what their life will be like with that product. And then in the very end, a call to action. So that's kind of what we're looking for here in this presentation. Okay, so with that in mind, I'll do a little presentation here for you, and just give you an example of what a sales presentation could look like. Now, this is a presentation for a single mother who is considering going to school online. So I'll jump into the kind of the role of a recruiter for BYU, Idaho, and so here it is. Well, Susan, it's been a pleasure to spend time with you this last few minutes and really learn about what your goals are. Man, God bless you, sister. You're such an inspiration to me. Um, you've shared with me some of the needs that you have and the goals that you have. Um, some of these include you want to earn a degree in management because the company that you work for is promoting people who have business degrees. And from what your company is telling you, you can make $15,000 more per year uh, to help with your three children. And speaking of your three children, you've also mentioned that one of the main drivers for wanting to finish your education is that you want to not only provide money to support them and have a better life, but more importantly, you want to show them that they can do anything that you put your mind to, and you want to be that example for them. That's amazing. I think that's an awesome goal. Some of the other things that you've shared too is that you don't want to go into debt for school. That's really important. And also that you want a flexible program because you're working 40 hours a week, you're juggling church calling as well as working with your kids. So that's just a lot on your plate. And as you were sharing your goals with me, and I appreciate you doing that, opening up and sharing those with me. I know it's not easy to kind of share that, but I appreciate that because it allows me to help you reach those goals. It reminds me of an experience that is a big experience in my life, and I tell you this because I feel like I can in some way relate to you. My mom, my parents were divorced when I was 9 years old, and I'll never forget a day that my mom walked through the door. It was a rainy day outside in the Seattle area, and I was nine, four kids, and I was the oldest. I am the oldest, and had been watching the children, my brothers and sisters, and she came through the door. She just looked absolutely dejected because she'd been going out looking for jobs in the community and just hadn't been successful. Yet again, another job she hadn't gotten the opportunity to, and I could tell she didn't get the job when I looked at her and I said, "Well, what happened? Why didn't you get this one?" And she just looked at me and she said, "It's because I don't have the experience and the education that they're looking for." And right then, that made an impact on me at a very young age, the importance of education. And at a very young age, I set a goal in my mind that I was going to go and get my education. So, so you're absolutely on the right track as in looking to finish that degree that you wanted, the business management degree that you're looking for. So let's talk about some of the benefits that BYU Idaho offers you and see if it's a fit for you. First of all, like I said, I think you're on the right track because research is published recently in the Wall Street Journal shows that people with bachelor's degree earn an average of $14,000 per year more than those with just a high school diploma. It's interesting because you're telling me that your company will give you a $15,000 raise if you earn a degree, and it aligns exactly with that research that was published 2 years ago in the Wall Street Journal. Next, gosh, from personal experience, I absolutely can relate to looking at a mother and looking up to her. And gosh, if there had been in the early 80s the opportunity for my mom to go to school online, it would have been amazing. That's part of why I love doing what I do, is to help improve people's lives in that way. There's research that came out in 2019 from the U.S. Department of Education that shows that children whose parents go to school are 3 times more likely to not only attend college, but graduate from college as well. So when you're saying that you want to change the trajectory of or show kids that your children that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, well, there's research that backs that up and supports that as well. You're literally going to change the trajectory of your family tree if you do that. The third point is you're very wise in and being cognizant of tuition costs that are out there, because the average, again, this is from the U.S. Department of Education, the average annual tuition cost is $26,000 per year average for universities out there, and therefore the average student loan balance is over $35,000. Now, it's a catch-22 for a lot of people, because a lot of people, there's over 2 million single mothers like yourself that are going to school online, and unfortunately there's only a third of them that aren't in significant debt. So I think you're being very wise with being selective and careful with what you choose. Now, you'll be happy to know that as a member of the church, tuition for online programs is a fraction of these annual costs that we were talking about. For 12 credits, it's only a little over $1,500. Therefore, if you went full time for a year, you'd be just a little over $3,000 annually, plus a couple $100 for your books. So that, which is a fraction of the $26,000 that I talked about earlier. It's extremely affordable, quality education backed by the church and the values that brings, and incorporating teachings of the Savior into that. It just can't get any better than that from a curriculum standpoint as well as a cost standpoint. And finally, the convenience of online. Gosh, the whole beauty of this. I wish my mom could have done this back in the day, because her life could have been so much better, and our lives could have been so much better growing up, had she had an opportunity like this, an online education that she could have done. But fortunately for you, you have that. And so let's fast forward to go back into it. It reminds me of another story that I want to finish up here with. Fast forward to 2005, and I had taken that experience and other experiences in my life where education was very important to me, and I had the goal to be the first one in my family to earn a master's degree. So in 2005, I was walking down the stage after getting my diploma for my MBA. It's a master's in business administration. I've been working on that for 2 years in a flexible program, working and doing church service and going to school and doing everything. So, and who was the first person that I saw when I walked down there? It was my mom. How amazing was that? That I was able to give her a hug. We were able to take a picture and just experience that together. And picture yourself doing the same thing with your kids greeting you. How does that feel when you think about that? Well, I know that you will feel a great sense of accomplishment, and that your kids will take notice. And you will literally change the trajectory of your family tree if you do this. With an education through BYU Idaho, we can help you with resources to make it so that you are debt-free, that you have that degree, that you are making that money, and you're changing the trajectory of your posterity. Are you ready to pursue your dreams and start your application? So I'm jumping out of the presentation now. So just a few things that to pay attention to in the presentation. I'm sure if I were to go back, there are things that I could do better. I'm sure, because I never give a perfect presentation, but some elements that I'm looking for in presentations are: first, understanding the customer's needs. Second, some elements of a story that help evoke emotion for your customer and help them show that you want, not only that you understand, but kind of take them to the promised land. Third, what I'm looking for is, when you're giving them the benefits, you're backing it up with some type of research, proving your point. You're validating it. And then fourth, a call to action. So in my case, when I said, are you ready to pursue your dreams and start your application? That was the call to action. So those are some of the things for this week's for this week and that presentation. So hopefully, again, email me, talk to me in the uh, board there, the message board, or shoot me an email if you have questions. But hopefully this is helpful for you, and looking forward to seeing you all in class.